During this week's video, we put steerable lights on the Grand Cherokee from Iron Rock Off-Road and Harbor Freight. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're installing some Road Shock LED lights. It comes with a wiring, well, it doesn't come with a wiring kit, but you can buy the wiring kit separate. So I'm hoping this is a plug and play situation because I got one day. We go off-roading tomorrow, and I thought, well, I've had these Iron Rock light brackets that go on your axle. These are like for a Dana 30 front axle that you can mount, on your axle. It uses the wheel hub bolts and supposedly mounts right on your axle, and then when you steer, the lights follow. So I went with the light kit and these lights from Harbor Freight just because of time restraint. The price is pretty decent. So let's see if we can get these Iron Rock brackets mounted on the axle. I'm a little afraid that they might not work due to these have the WJ knuckles on the high pinion when we built the ultimate high pinion 30 for this Grand Cherokee. It appears that these will clear where the drag link comes down for those YJ knuckles, but the only way to find out is to take those bolts out that go into the wheel hub and see if this bracket fits. That's gonna be our starting point, because if this bracket doesn't fit, I might just return those lights. So let's get under the Jeep, see what we got. Well, we stuck the jack underneath the Jeep to lessen the load on the wheel bearing, and we got the wheel bearing bolts out of the hub. Have you guys heard the saying, custom mods call for custom tools? That was this case. I was at Harbor Freight today and I noticed these sweet looking sockets because the bolts in the wheel bearing are these fellers. Focus camera. So you need a 12-point socket. And I thought, well, dude, these sockets look like they'd work better than a 12-point. And they do. So this socket with a combination of some wrenches, a breaker bar with the new socket that we just picked up, a 12-point ratchet with a swivel head, because there's gussets on that high pinion and the WJ spindle. So there's a little bit less room to work with when you got to get that top bolt out of that wheel hub. That combination worked mint. So hopefully that's useful to a couple of you guys with extra mods to your high pinion 30. It appears that this bracket from Iron Rock that they no longer make for some reason. Maybe if we put this video out, people are gonna want this bracket again in Iron Rock. You're gonna have to start making them again. It does fit on the WJ knuckle. The only thing is if I go full lock on driver's side, will it hit my gussets on that high pinion 30? So let's throw this little feller in there and see if we can go full lock driver and see if it hits the gussets or not. If it doesn't, we should be able to mount the lights and then see if the lights interfere with anything. All right, so far so good. We got the bracket somewhat in. Let me show you what I discovered. And you might not necessarily need this ratchet wrench because you can just do this. Just turn the wheel to the driver's side. Now I can access that top bolt much easier. As you can see, the socket is still on there. So I was having a heck of a time getting this bracket on through the front side of the axle because the bolt was too long. So I just turned the wheel towards the driver's side and that bolt goes in much easier that way. So I should have knew that because I've built enough of these, or done enough of these wheel bearings. You just have to go both ways with your steering geometry to get the top bolt and the front bolt of that wheel bearing. So let's start the Jeep back up, get it back over, get the other bolt in, and it looks like the bracket's gonna clear gussets as well. So we'll mount it up, unbox the off-road light, and see how that's gonna sit on the bracket inside all that steering components. Unboxing these Road Shock off-road lights. They're pretty slick, but they're a little difficult to put the bracket in. So the bracket slides through the housing, which is really cool because then you have a flush mount on the outside to mount the bracket. The tough part is to wiggle this nut down in there. Can you see where the difficulty would come? So let me play a little operation here and get these brackets mounted in, and we'll get those on the brackets on the axle. Well, dang! Those are looking good. They are supposed to be pointing crossways. So you're supposed to mount those lights facing, like if you mount it on the passenger side, it's supposed to be facing the driver's side, and then vice versa. Then you get away from the tire and you get a direct path of light. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Like the way it looks when it's pointing straight. And it is tilted in just a titch bit, but the drag length is in front of that light. These are floodlights too. So I went with the flood instead of the spot because I'm actually just looking for, you know, a light in the darkness of winter. Not necessarily a spotlight. So let's cycle this a little bit to see if that light hits anything underneath the axle there. See what we got to work with to wire it if we don't bump anything. Let me know if you see that light hitting any objects underneath. Looks like we're in the clearance. Well, that's pretty neat. It looks like it should work. Now we'll move to the driver's side. I don't foresee any issues happening over here because there's a lot less going on without the drag link coming down. And I mean, just look, there's not a whole lot going on down there. So let's get those two bolts out, put that bracket on, mount the light, and I will pick up the camera again if we run into any issues. But hopefully you just see me again in like 2 seconds and we are wiring those lights to go off-roading. Another cool feature with these lights, it comes with an extra connector, so you could connect this on the light and just hardwire it and not use the light kit, which we might not use the wire kit. I forgot my brother, this was my brother's Jeep before mine. He's got some, this is powered, this yellow power, and it's fused. Not sure where it goes. Anyways, there's another red, oh, couldn't see me there. There's another red wire coming here, and I believe that one goes into a switch. So I might go see where that wire is leading to, and if it's already fused, because look at here, these look like the factory fog lights that you would have on these Jeeps is all bundled up right here. So this thing might have factory fog lights already. Oh wait, I got a cut wire here. Look at this, I got a relay coming down here, going to a blue wire. Mess around with these wires first and see where they go. See if that hot leads to a switch, which it appears it does inside on the dash. And then we can save ourselves $29 and return this wiring kit. We discovered something. Got our old little test light. We found the original lights that my brother put in here, and they're on the factory connectors here, but they are not connected to the fuse box. So either my dad or my brother came up with this concoction over here. So we got a separate relay over here. So I found these old lights again, like I said, and we got the test light and figured out the switch in the cab has factory fog lights, but that switch doesn't work. There's an extra switch in there, like I said earlier, which obviously goes to this relay. And if we do this little number, we got lots. So I'm safe to say, and hopefully when we can just ditch these lights and then put the connectors that we got. We'll just use this connector that came with the new fog lights, and we will tie it into this concoction. We'll ditch the factory ones, put them in here, and connect them, and it will all work together. And my little guy's got a little spray gun. How does it work? Need battery? Oh, here we go.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
So after we hook the lights up, hopefully we can return this kit. Now we can just ground this relay and ditch these lights, and hook up the new ones. It's the morning of the event, and I'm still wearing these front lights. Let me show you how far we got and what we have left to do. So we got the light mounted on the axle there, wires running up through, and we zip tied it to the brake line. And we came up and through where the brake line came, put some wire looms on. This one, hold up, let me get the light for you. Magnet. Okay. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be, light? So the driver's side is going to be running from this one over. We got to still wire the driver's side, but then cleaned up all the wires coming from the aftermarket relay. So we got one light wired up already, looking pretty good. But the next time you see me, we'll be in the woods. I'm gonna finish this up quick, and then we're gonna show you the reveal of the lights when we get out wheeling. See you in a couple seconds. Been out in the woods for about an hour, and man, those lights are cool. So Iron Rock, if you haven't brought those brackets back yet to go on those Dana 30s, this is a call out. You're gonna have to build those brackets again because they're wicked cool. gonna do a little rock wall action. You guys watched our videos before, you know all about this little guy. It's not really little. I'm 6'2". Cameras just don't justify. I say it all the time, but it's true. Okay, here comes Goldie. We're gonna go down this trail. Look at that big tree that rooted up. Dang. Dang. So we're not gonna be coming through here, but we're gonna come down and go back up because this is a wicked cool washout. You gotta take advantage of some of these cool little features God created. Exit out! Woo! That's a fun little washout. Man, Goldie's working good today. Well, hello folks, it's the next day. It's a Sunday, little Sunday fun day. I don't know how much footage we're gonna get today. We're already cutting trees down in our way. But we'll tour around out here in the woods and have a good old time. At the end of the video, I'll give you my conclusion on those rock lights that we installed from Iron Rock and Harbor Freight and give you guys my opinion. So let's go play out in the woods for a little bit and see if we get into trouble or not. Problem. Animal lovers are watching right now and are kind of sour about me destroying that beaver dam. The property owner has a beaver problem and he was wondering if we could kind of take care of the dam situation. So we took care of it. Don't worry, we didn't kill any beavers. No beavers were killed in the making of this video. They'll be back. Trust me, there'll be more beaver dams. care of another dam situation. Been out in the woods for a hot minute. We're doing a lot more trail maintenance than we are wheeling today, but that's part of the territory. Oh no, the rear hatch. The rear hatch situation here. Not latching. Too much wiggle room. Have to change that design. I'll straighten it out. I'll keep going. Stay in it. Stay in it. Gonna have to learn eventually, right? Gotta pass it on to the next generation. To wrap on this video, I hope you guys enjoyed the video of us installing these killer steerable lights. It's like a Lexus now. So the install was pretty easy and we used them last night. We didn't shoot much of us out in the woods at nighttime. It's hard to film. We're just buzzing through the woods. We didn't do anything difficult. But it is pretty neat to have the steerable lights while you're out in the woods and if you're on the back roads. So I really enjoyed the new install that we put on the Jeep, and we made it out of the woods again. A little carnage here and there, some body damage, but the lights stayed in place, and we were going over a lot of broken branches, a lot of trees, through the creek, through some mud holes, and they stood the test. So if you guys are looking to get some brackets to put on your Dana 30, we're gonna have to reach out to Iron Rock and get them to make these brackets again if they're not making them. Last time I checked, they weren't making these brackets, so maybe this video will encourage them to bring them back. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.